Hi again. Hi, my name is Coral and I'm going to do another little video today showing you how to make a cute little owl face, or owl body actually. And it's so simple, it's going to take such a short little time. What you're going to need is just a small ball of clay. So I think mine's a bit big. I'm going to take some off there. And it's literally about the size of a satsuma, like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll it out. So let's just roll it out in the circle that we want to keep it in. Try and keep it in the circle shape. And actually, if you don't, I always think if you don't keep it in the circle shape, you can always cut it into a circle shape. So it doesn't really matter, because actually, when you roll these things out, they don't always stay in the circle that you want them to stay in. But I'm going to do it a little bit thinner because I am going to be bending it over, and I don't want it to crack too much when I bend over the piece of clay. So we'll just go a little bit thinner than this. I'm going to tell you how thin that is. Always find it difficult to explain. Oh, already cracked it, pulling it up. Always find it, I'm going to turn it over and just fix those cracks by rolling on the other side. There we go. So keep rolling. Right, I think that's probably going to be thin enough. Otherwise, I won't be able to pick it up off the board, which is just my piece of discarded MDF, which I found actually in a tip outside, but it's quite good at not sticking. So I made this a bit thinner, maybe about the thickness of, now what shall I say? It's about thickness of 3 millimeters, I'd say. So if you've got a little ruler, you probably know roughly what I'm saying. It's difficult to show exactly, but, or maybe a pancake, a thicker pancake. So I'm going to cut around a circle, and I'm going to use the same bowl I've used before. I'm just going to cut a circle around because mine didn't just roll out into a circle. So I'm just going to go round, and you can go round with your knife, with your anything that just cuts around. Can be just a sharp toothpick to cut around. Don't need to have a knife. You can do it with something less sharp than that. Plastic knife is fine too. So we've got just going to pick it up so it doesn't stick. And I do advise picking it up ever so often, because the more you press down on it, the more it's going to stick on your board. And when you come to pick it up or move it at the end, it's going to be annoying. So just pick it up, so you loosen it up from the sticking of the board. I want it up because I want to be able to show you that what I'm making. So there we go. I'm making it slightly bigger than I probably would ask you to do, but doesn't matter what size you make it. It's whatever you like, because this little owl can be any size you like. So we've got that. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a felt pen tip. Now I'm going to find a felt pen end, in fact, because that one looks sort of like that. That's my felt tip pen, and that's the end. So what we're trying to do is to make the little feather marks on the owl, and we're only going to do that for the bottom half of the body and not even to the edges. So it's only going to be a small part of the body that we need to do it on. You can see when I put that little mark, it's sort of not quite all of it, but it doesn't matter if you do, because it's going to be covered. So the bottom. So I'm going to show you how I do these little feather look with my U. It's got to be like a U. That's sort of what it is. And it doesn't have to be exact, but they look quite cute. So I'm going to just do a few, and then I'm going to show you what they look like. So I'm using my felt tip pen end, and I'm using it at an angle because I don't want the whole circle. I just want a half circle. I want like a U. So I'm just using that at an angle. And I'm going forward and back, cross, and you could have something a bit bigger than that if you wanted. But I think this looks fine. Actually, I can even do some slightly bigger ones by using more of the bottom of it, not having it at such an angle. And as I'm going to fold in, I'm not going to do the sides. I'm going to finish up just doing right to the top where I showed you. And you could always do this with a toothpick end. You don't have to use a pen. You can just do it the way you want it. So, let me show you what I've done. I'm just going to do some up the side. Let's finish these ones. There we are. So you can see how I've made little U shapes, like the feathers on the owl body. So that's what you want to get. And that literally was just using half of the pen, just pushing it in, half. And then sometimes at the top, you can see I pushed in nearly the whole, but not the top part of it. So it looks like half of the pen circle that's made that mark. And that looks like little U shapes, which we can use, which look like the feathers, the tummy of the owl. Okay, once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to fold in. I'm going to just thin out the edge because I don't want this to crack. So I'm just going to thin here where I'm folding it in, and I'm going to thin here. I'm just going to smooth over that because that almost felt a bit cracky. And this hot weather does make it difficult with clay. And if you get any crumbs on it, you can blow them away. So I'm going to fold in each side in a straight line, not too far in, but so you want to leave so they meet. Oh, that is cracked underneath. Hold on, let me just smooth over. Let's get some of my special wet clay glue, which I've talked about before, and just smooth that over, because otherwise that is going to crack. So I'm going to just roll it. So you can always fix up if you've got some cracks coming. Just wet it with your finger, smooth it over. You can see I had some cracks on there, and I'm just going to roll that little corner. Hopefully be able to pick it up. And then I'm going to roll it. So I'm going to roll those over. It still wants to crack, like that. And any little bits that crack, I'm just going to smooth over with my finger. Okay, so there we go. Looks like that. So you can see it doesn't cover the whole of the body. It just covers, oops, get my elbow on my tools. It just covers one side, rolls over and covers half, and the other side rolls over and covers half. And they sort of meet just in the middle there. You can see where they meet, where we've rolled them over. Okay, and if yours look like they're cracking, just wipe over with your finger, just smooth it. Wet your finger and wipe over. Okay, so now we've got that part of the body. We're going to then do another roll. We're going to roll over the top. So once we roll over the top, we're going to get it to just where the join meets. I'm going to show you that. I rolled over the top. Oh, I didn't do that very straight. Let's roll it straight. Sort of trying to look up and sideways at the same time. So look, that's a bit straighter. So I rolled it over, and where the roll came over, see, I just rolled it over like that. It met about where they meet, the two sides that I rolled in first. So we rolled that over because that's the owl's head. Now what you want to do now is just pinch with your fingers, because these are going to be the ears. Just pinch them up. And again, it is hard with the clay being so dry in this hot weather. But if you're in a cool room, it's probably okay. So you can see that's going to be one ear. And I'm going to do the other side. Just going to pinch it. Just play with it. Doesn't matter how your ears look. Just make them slightly going out like that, because that's what an owl's ears look like, don't they? And they're a bit pointed, I think. And I'll just point this one too. So they look like that. So that, and you can push down in the middle If you push down in the middle, then your ears look bigger, because you can make it a bit, and push down like that, and then you can even flatten them a bit, like that, like that. So you've got your owl's ears. Let me just smooth over there too, and a little crack there. So that's my owl with his ears, and that's all you need to do for the time being. I'm just smoothing with my finger where I can see cracks, which I couldn't see when I was showing it to you. Well, I could see them, so now I'm smoothing it so it doesn't look, just smoothing over my cracky bits. With my finger, your hand's nice and warm, so it normally just smooths straight over. Any bits you can just smooth straight over with your finger. So, now we've done that, the next bit is to do the eyes. So we're not going to take any extra clay for the eyes. We're going to take a felt tip, but I want it bigger end than that. So let's see what I've got. I want a slightly bigger circle than that. Have I got something bigger than that? Yeah, I think that one is bigger. See that end there? I can't see if you can see that. That's another felt tip pen end, and that looks quite good because it's even got the eye in the middle. You can see, oh, it's just a felt tip pen end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those, I'm going to press down where I think the owl's eyes would be. One there. Oh, those are good eyes. Those are very good owl eyes. You've got to look at all your felt tip pens and see which one you think has the best eye. That one got a bit stuck in there. Oh, it's looking nice. That does get a bit stuck in there, but never mind. They look nice, their eyes. Look how those owls' eyes look. You could go bigger than that, in fact. I think even bigger would be better. I could draw another circle around them to make them look even bigger with my, it's like my tool, my toothpick type tool. I'm just going to make another circle around them because I think owls' eyes are pretty big and they're very round. So I'm just making an even wider circle than my felt tip pen because it didn't feel big enough, because my owl actually is quite a big owl. Just taking the little bits off, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm literally just going round those felt tip pens and making it a bit bigger. So you can see now they look even bigger, because I think they needed to be bigger. But if you had a bigger pen top, then you'd be all right. So the last thing, all we need to do is to get the end of our felt tip of our knife, or our butter knife, or our plastic knife, or anything, and we're just going to make a nose. So what we're going to do is just make a line there, and it's like a little V coming down from the eyes. I'm going to show you in a second. Just going to make it. I'm going to just push it each way a bit. Not cutting in fact I'm using the upside down knife because I don't really want it as a cut. I just want it as an indent. Just want something to indent there for the eyes. But actually, I'm just going to just go around the top of my eyes because I didn't think they looked. There we are. So you can see where I've done my little owl nose. I've just done an indent like that. So that is it. That is all it takes to make a little owl. And then you can paint him. You can paint his eyes, you can paint his wings, his feathers, you can paint his ears, you can do it all different colours. And that is your owl, and that is it. So very easy one to make. You can flatten him out. I've made a mark there. You can make his ears come in a bit more. You can push his body down there. You can make it the shape that you like your owl. But just get those big round eyes because they are the fun thing in there. And I definitely recommend making them as big as possible because owls' eyes are big. Anyway, enjoy that one. See you soon.